What's going on, everyone? Welcome into NHL Best Bets for October 7th, presented by the Odd Shoppers. It's officially opening night in the NHL. I'm Gator Betting. I got my two co-hosts with me, Franco the Banker and Gretzky Betskis. We're going to break down Tuesday night's 3-game slate. But before we do that, we just want to give you a quick reminder. You can find us on the Odd Shoppers Tails Network, where we're dropping all of our plays early, giving our subscribers to get the best lines before they move. For our regular season package, you can use promo code SEASON25 for 30% off. If you want to start a little bit smaller, you can use promo code October25 for our first month. Gentlemen, we are finally here. We have done all of our season previews on our Expected Bets for YouTube channel, so go check that out as well. But Betsky, it feels good to be back.
It really does. It really, really does. And it also means that it is not 100 degrees in Arizona. So
best time of the year, right?
Yep. Got 6 months.
Best time of the year.
Well, hell again.
All right, let's jump into the games for Tuesday night. We're going to start off with the Chicago Blackhawks visiting the Florida Panthers, the two-time defending Cup champions. Florida opens at minus 285 on the money line. Chicago plus 230. Totals at 5.5, juiced slightly to that over. Franco, I'm going to start with you. What are you looking at in Chicago, Florida?
Well, it's funny. There's always been a thing saying to fade the teams on banner night. So I have seen a few posts about taking the Blackhawks, and then the Barkov news broke, a week and a half ago, whatever that was. So then that added even more fuel to the fire. Kachuk's missing time as well. So all that needs to be noted when you're talking about this game as far as, taking money lines or sides or whatever you want to do. But I'm not taking Chicago personally. I just cannot get there. We talked about this team as far as what they are in our season breakdown, and Florida still has the quality despite all the missing pieces. So I don't know. I think I in general lean more towards overs to start the season. Offenses and power plays kind of stay intact, at least on teams that haven't added too many pieces. Like Florida's power play is missing Barkov, obviously, but the rest of the pieces are still there. It takes a little bit more time for blue lines to kind of get together. So just kind of factor that in when you're thinking early. But we're going right to the prop market. My favorite prop, I would say, is Anton Lundell point at minus 115. We kind of talked about this in our breakdowns as far as who is one of the direct beneficiaries to the Barkov news, and I think he is the main guy. Now, he's not moving a power play 1, unfortunately, but we'll see if that changes. Right now they're running 2D, so does that change? But he's going to get a ton of ice time, ton of opportunity. He's on a line with Reinhart, who puts up 40 goals, it seems like, on regularly. So yeah, I like that a lot. Minus 115 feels like a nice price. If you parlay him with Reinhart, that bumps you up to plus 145. So I don't mind that either for a little sprinkle.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. Betsky, what are you looking at in Chicago, Florida?
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I mean, this is Lundell's kind of audition to be maybe the Panthers' top center down the road here as Barkov gets older and older. He's Finnish as well, has great chemistry with Luostarinen, who they've kept on his line. I really like that look, and you're getting a ton of value. I'm going to go with two defensemen here that I think should be pointed out. Both of these look kind of like parlay pieces right now, but that would be Seth Jones, shots on goal. He's an ex-Blackhawk. We saw him really kind of being the primary kind of puck mover for this team when Ekblad was out. He is listed on power play 1 right now. This will be the first time he is playing against Chicago since they traded him. And it seemed like it ended with a little bit of bad blood, even though he clearly wanted out and won a cup. It seemed like there was a little bit of don't let the door hit you on the way out sentiment from the Chicago side of things. So kind of interested to see how he can do at that 1.5 line, which is minus 155. But the guy I really have circled here is on the other side of things, and there's another defenseman who is on the top power play unit, and that's Sam Renzel. Renzel ended the season really hot with Chicago, and we weren't getting his props last year. So him being promoted to that top power play unit, we are being offered that now. He has the exact same line, 1.5 for minus 150. He ended the season hitting this 1.5 line in 8 of those last 10 games and was averaging 5.7 shots on goal. I think you're right. I think Florida's going to come out a little slow, especially with their injuries, especially with the banner raising. They may be a little sloppy. They may take some extra penalties that they normally can be a little bit more disciplined with. I kind of want to ride these 2 defensemen in like a little combo play.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. I got one here. I'm going to go to Brad Marchand. We talked about the injury news with Lundell stepping up for Barkov. Marchand's going to step up for Tkachuk here. Marchand on that top line with Verhaeghe and Bennett. He's also on that first power play unit as well. So I like Marchand at 1+ point for minus 145. If you want to get a little more aggressive and we're talking about these point stacks, you can parlay him with Sam Bennett, who's going to be on that first line and first power play unit with him for plus 102. If you really want to go all in on opening night, you can add Florida Panthers money line for plus 132. So we got, 6 bets in this Chicago-Florida game to start us off. So we're really sticking with the theme of going light early, and we still have 2 more games to go here. So
love it.
Yeah, I mean, Florida games are so fun. You're getting a team that just loves to shoot the puck, even with Barkov out. I mean, he's never been their primary shot guy, and Lundell has stepped up in times anyway. So this is a great first game for loading up a little bit on the prop side because Florida can really dominate. Those point stacks early in the season are really nice. Chicago allows both a ton of goals and a ton of shots.
I will say, too, backing on Rinzel a little bit, being on that top power play and top unit, plus 160 for a point, doesn't look bad either.
I absolutely love that, too, yeah. And I mean, if you want to juice it up even more, skip the point and go with the assist, right?
Yeah, you could go assist. Or if you want to get crazy, pair him with Bedard, or I really like Frank Nazar, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
His points plus 132, but put them together plus 375. Nazar on the top power play, and his line mates aren't any slouches as well with Bertuzzi and Teravainen on the wing. So
Nope.
Just add a little bit more for the fire there, guys. Whatever you want.
Totally. You know? And grab some of those type of lines now while the books aren't looking because this isn't a household name yet. So that line may drop. Really can put up points.
It's opening night. Let's get a little crazy. On to the next game. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins traveling to New York to take on the Rangers. The Rangers are minus 225 on the money line. Pittsburgh plus 185. Total set at 5.5, minus 130 to the over. Betsky, I'm going to start with you in this one. Any looks between the Penguins and Rangers?
I think there's a ton of value on Trocheck point. I mean, that's running around minus 140, it seems. And this is a guy who's on this team's top power play unit. This is a power play unit that can be very dominant. In this head-to-head versus Pittsburgh, he hit 4 straight in 4 of those last 5 games for points, including 7 in those 4 games. Seems like you're getting a bargain price for Trocheck point.
And if you're pairing him up with a line mate, a power play line mate as well, with Panarin, minus 115 for both of those players to record a point. So a little bit better value there. Franco, what are you looking at in Pittsburgh, New York?
Well, I'm kind of talked about it. I'm going to be fading this Rangers team. This might not be the game to fade them in. We'll see. We'll see how good Pittsburgh looks early. They're missing Mr. Rust on the wing there on that top line, but I don't think we're going to see prime Shesterkin in game 1. So you can get Crosby and Raquel point parlayed together at plus 105. I like that a lot. I think that's a ton of value. And then also Chris Letang looks like he's skating on the top power play unit, believe it or not, guys. They're going 2 defensemen. We'll see. I'm kind of tentative on these early daily faceoff lines. We'll see what ends up shaking up after a few games. But as of now, he's on the top power play, plus 145 for a point. Again, you can get a little crazier if you want, kind of like what Betsky said with Renzel, and take his assist. That looks like it's about plus 190. So Letang not really a goal scorer, but top power play. I'll take a sprinkle with that.
I wouldn't be too concerned with the tank getting off that power play until Russ is back, because I'm looking at these lines and who else are going to put up there? Anthony Mantha, Tommy Novak.
That's
Benjamin
true.
Kindle.
That's true. I guess,
Who
else are you going to throw out there? You're right.
Blake Lazo, Noel Achari, Connor Duar.
Yeah, it's kind of
all
brutal.
Stars.
We can just go through this whole roster at this point.
Hey, man, look at the bottom six for the Rangers, though. It's not much better, but we'll get there.
Yeah. I also don't mind Raquel at 3+ shots on goal. He's a pretty good history against the Rangers. He's on that first line, on that first power play unit as well. The Rangers really struggled against shots last season, ranking 27th. I get they bring in Gavrikov, but I still don't mind him to get 3+ at even money on DraftKings. However, my favorite play for this game is going to be Adam Fox point. Minus 145 on DraftKings. We had talked about him a ton during our season previews. Had some injury issues last year, but still put up 61 points through 74 games. Years before, he had 73, 72, 74, nearly a point per game player. Now he opens up the season against the Penguins, who are terrible against goals against per game. I think they finished 29th last season on that first power play unit as well. Gavrikov, a true defensive defenseman, should free him up. So I don't mind his point at minus 145. If you want to get a little crazy, he did have the majority of his points come through assists last season. So maybe look at his assist prop as well. But I'm going to take Fox for a point at minus 145 tomorrow. Any other looks in Pittsburgh, New York?
I do want to point out something that we talked about in our season preview. Make sure you watch that Pittsburgh episode if you haven't watched it yet on our YouTube, and definitely give us a like and subscribe. But Crosby is getting closer and closer to entering the top 5 of all-time scorers in the NHL. We saw this with Ovechkin last year, where he was on the broke the goal scoring record and went on an absolute tear. I don't think anybody preseason said he was going to do it in that 1 year. I think we all were saying it was going to take them both. While Crosby, I think we said needs like 90 points to break into the top 5. I think he would love to pad that. So I think this is going to be a big fuck you tour of Crosby. I think his point and going up to 1.5 points, depending on the matchup and his shots, is going to be something to ride all season long. I think he is going to be very motivated to rack them up, even if he knows he won't be winning another cup.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, on to the last game of the night. Probably the best game of the night here. We got the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings are favorites in this one at minus 112. Colorado minus 108. Total set at 5.5 again. Minus 125 to the over. We talked about it a little bit in our season previews of how scoring was down at a record pace last season compared to the 2 seasons prior, where scoring was going up. So if we like goals early, it's almost the time to kind of hop on a few overs before that line starts to move up to 6, 6.5. I don't necessarily hate the over in this game. But Betsky, I'll start with you in this one. Avs, Kings, what do you got?
Is that Colorado line a bait, or are they just out of their minds?
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I didn't actually know that LA was favored here. I do not care that this is at home. And that over 5.5 is really tasty. Yep. I don't know what they're thinking. LA has Cody Ceci and Brandon Dumoulin on their stinking blue line now instead of Gavrikov and Spence.
Yeah.
I just don't get, and Edmondson. I just don't understand why this team is still heavily favored to be in games. I mean, I don't think they're outright bad, but we talked about the Colorado improvements, and
Yep.
I just don't see how you can back LA here. Maybe I'm going to
Yeah.
be eating a lot of crow for dinner tomorrow, but I absolutely love that money line. I would consider taking the puck line at plus 235, or
I like
take
it.
the money line with the over. I mean,
Yeah. No, I think that puck line's totally in play here.
I think this is a season where Colorado needs to prove that they are still a contender, or their GM is going to start trying to retool a little bit here too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I certainly agree. Franco, what are you looking at in Kings Avs?
Well, I'll tell you why the line is the way it is. LA was 31-10 at home last year, and Colorado was 23-18. If we're making overtime losses, because they're a loss. So I mean, that's No, I agree. I'm not high on the Kings.
Last year was terrific on the road, and the year before they were terrible. So
yeah,
the regression's going to happen. They're not going to do at home what they did last year.
I mean, I agree. This blue line does not look as good as it has in the past. I still don't believe in this goaltending tandem.
No, but we say that every year.
We've been kind of down on this Kings team for like 2 straight years. I would say. Well,
it's going to be the year. Damn it.
Yeah. So maybe we're wrong again, but we'll see. I do agree with you. Minus 108 for Colorado. I like that, and I do lean the over as well. So as far as player props go, I want any bit of Marty Necas I can get.
Yep.
I think he was minus 145
Correct.
somewhere.
DraftKings. 1+ point, minus 145.
So I don't mind that, but I'm going to be, I mean, it's not even being greedy. I feel like, and DraftKings is not allowing this as of now, so you have to check other books for this, but you can parlay McKinnon point with him and get minus 105. That just is stupid. I mean, there's no world that I see where Necas gets a point and McKinnon doesn't. I think that would just be crazy. So if I can get his Necas's point down to minus 105 as opposed to minus 145, I'm going to do that every single time. You're muted, Gator.
Oh, gotta get that rust off, Gator.
I was going to say, I really do. I'm trying to check. I was trying to confirm a few Colorado lines, but Betsky, any player props for you in this one before I list a few?
Yeah, we talked about it in our group text. I mean, obviously, I love that Necas look too. I mean, and if you wanna get crazy, if Necas and McKinnon are getting a point or two, is Makar not going to get in on one? I mean, he could probably do all three.
Yeah.
On the King side, we've all kind of talked about Kuzmenko. He ended the season very hot. Kind of came out of nowhere for this team. Really, really fantastic pickup. I do not blame you if you want to do a little bit of a wait and see and make sure he still clicks, and that wasn't just kind of him trying to save his NHL career with one last shot on the Kings. But man, he looked good with Kopitar and Kempe, and that is going to be where primarily most of the offense will be kind of coming from this team. I know that second line of Fiala, Byfield, and Laferriere looks very, very good as well. But Kuzmenko being on that top power play just kind of pushes it over for me. There's no defenseman on their top power play, by the way. And you're getting a really good price there. If Kuzmenko stays hot and continues what he was doing at the end of the season, you are not going to get him bettable for very long.
Yeah, I had Kuzmenko point circled at minus 110. Kopitar point is also bettable at minus 130. Last season, what better way to start the retirement tour off with a point? You know, in terms of point stacks, Fiala, Byfield, I think are one on the Kings that we should be looking at as well. Kuzmenko, Kopitar, and Kempe are all on the first line and first power play unit, so that's another point stack. One that I wanted to point out on the Colorado side is that second line of Nelson and Nichushkin. Both are paired together on the first power play unit as well. That's plus 122. So that's kind of where I would go with that. But the Necas point at minus 145, it's hard to beat that. Probably will take Colorado money line, Colorado puck line. It's open night. Worth a little sprinkle.
Man, that top power play unit looks like we're going to get tons of value for a little bit here. I mean, I feel like the Nelson point's probably not going to be adjusted for a bit here.
Wait, Gator, did you say that was the parlay between Nelson and Nichushkin?
Yeah, plus 122.
So shop that 275 on 365.
There you go. That sounds better.
That's it.
I mean, that
sounds way better.
You're correlated on the second line, so they can score on even strength, and they're playing with Makar and McKinnon on the top power play unit. So I love that. I think that's fantastic.
I really love that too.
Plus 275 is stupid. I think
in a way, if for some reason Cody Ceci can shut down McKinnon and Natchez, then you're probably getting most of your production from that second line on Colorado, because
I think that's a big reason.
To get really thin after that second line. The third line looks a lot better.
That's a big reason why the Kings were so good at home. I think they have a very good shutdown line, like forward group at least, right? With Deneau being the main guy there, but yeah, that second line is going to get the best advantages for Colorado. Honestly, that I might like that almost better than the Natchez and McKinnon one, which seems crazy.
Nelson is minus 110 and Nichushkin is minus 105 on the Disney book.
Straight, you're saying? Each.
Straight.
Yeah, I don't mind either of them. Straight is fine too.
Yeah,
but I'm just getting greedy because it's
opening night.
What the hell?
It's opening night, baby.
All right, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to NHL Best Bets presented by the Odd Shoppers. Once more, you can get all of our picks early this season over on the Odd Shoppers Tails Network. For a regular season package, you can use promo code SEASON25 for 30% off. You want to start early, come check us out, kind of see how we format our picks and everything. You can use promo code October25 off your first month for our monthly packages. Once more, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and let's get excited. It's opening night. Talk to you tomorrow. See ya.